Georgia. Go ahead, Kylie.
So if you guys are saying that the 2008 map is no longer necessary, essentially, then I'm just trying to understand why you're not laying out a new map for Ukraine at this time and saying, you know, generically and in a nondescript way that conditions need to be met, but not actually saying what those conditions explicitly are.
I will say that I'm not in a position to get into those explicit conditions from this podium, but these are conditions, democracy reforms, anti-corruption reforms that we have been in dialogue with Ukraine about for some time, and that Ukraine itself has publicly identified as reforms it needs to make. So there are conditions, these are not conditions that that are a mystery to anyone. They're conditions where Ukraine has made great progress already, and where they acknowledge that there's more work to do, and where NATO members have said, we stand ready to help them take those steps.
And obviously President Zelensky had been very clear leading up to this that he wanted the actual invitation to join NATO. He's not getting that. So what is your response going to be when Ukrainians are frustrated by, you know, what they've gotten?
I will say again, as I said in response to Alex's question, we certainly understand where the members of the Ukrainian government and members of Ukrainian society are coming from. And as I said, it's impossible to imagine the conditions that they are living through, but we can certainly understand, having lived through those conditions, why they would make the requests that they do, and I think we would make the same if they were in their shoes. What I would say is I would just point to the significant security assistance, the significant intelligence assistance, the significant economic assistance that we continue to provide Ukraine to help it win this war, as well as the steps that we have already taken and that we will continue to take to hold Russia accountable and to degrade Russia's ability to conduct this war. And I know it sometimes gets tiresome. It seems like we come up here and repeat them all the time, but we just in the last week rolled out new forms of security assistance that we can provide, that we are providing to Ukraine. France just announced a new weapons capability today that it will provide to Ukraine, and you will continue to see NATO alliance members, as well as other countries around the world who stand with Ukraine to continue to provide that assistance so they can accomplish what is the most important objective, which is to achieve success on the battlefield now.
And just one more question. President Biden compared last week the support that the U.S. will be giving to Ukraine to the military support that the U.S. gives to Israel. So should we expect over the course of, you know, the next day or so that there's going to be long-term assistance laid out for Ukraine in a way that the Israelis, you know, have 10-year-long commitments from the U.S. when it comes to military support?
There will be additional announcements made over the next several days, but I don't want to preview what those might be or what they might look like. Anything else on Russia?